Who was Francis of Assisi? Born in Italy circa 1181, Saint Francis of Assisi was renowned for drinking and partying in his youth. After fighting in a battle between Assisi and Perugia, Francis was captured and imprisoned for ransom. He spent nearly a year in prison, awaiting his father's payment, and, according to legend, began receiving visions from God. After his release from prison, Francis heard the voice of Christ, who told him to repair the Christian church and live a life of poverty. Consequently, he abandoned his life of luxury and became a devotee of the faith, his reputation spreading all over the Christian world. Later in life, Francis reportedly received a vision that left him with the stigmata of Christ, marks resembling the wounds Jesus Christ suffered when he was crucified, making Francis the first person to receive such holy wounds. He was canonized as a saint on July 16, 1228. During his life, he also developed a deep love of nature and animals, and is known as the patron saint of the environment and animals. His life and words have had a lasting resonance with millions of followers across the globe. Each October, many animals the world over are blessed on his feast day. On October 4th, Roman Catholics celebrate the feast of Saint Francis of Assisi, the Italian deacon who brought renewal to the Church through his decision to follow Jesus' words as literally as possible. In a January 2010 general audience, Pope Benedict XVI recalled this giant of holiness as a great saint and a joyful man, who taught the Church that the secret of true happiness is to become saints, close to God. The future Saint Francis was born on an uncertain date in the early 1180s, one of the several children born to the wealthy merchant Pietro Bernard I and his wife Pica. He originally received the name Giovanni, but became known as Francesco by his father's choice. Unlike many medieval saints, Saint Francis was neither studious nor pious in his youth. His father's wealth gave him access to a lively social life among the upper classes, where he was known for his flashy clothes and his readiness to burst into song. Later a patron of peacemakers, he aspired to great military feats in his youth and fought in a war with a rival Italian city-state. A period of imprisonment during that conflict turned his mind toward more serious thoughts, as did a recurring dream that suggested his true army was not of this world. He returned to Assisi due to illness in 1205, and there began consider a life of voluntary poverty. 3 major incidents confirmed Francis in this path. In Assisi, he overcame his fear of disease to kiss the hand of a leper. Afterward, he made a pilgrimage to Rome, where he deposited his money at St. Peter's tomb and exchanged clothes with a beggar. Soon after he returned home, Francis heard Christ tell him in a vision, "Go, Francis, and repair my house, which as you see is falling into ruin." Francis began to use his father's wealth to restore churches. This led to a public quarrel in which the cloth merchant's son removed his clothing and declared that he had no father except God. He regarded himself as the husband of its Lady Poverty, and resolved to serve Christ as a herald of the great king. During the year 1208, the herald received the inspiration that would give rise to the Franciscan movement. At Mass one morning, he heard the Gospel reading in which Christ instructed the apostles to go forth without money, shoes, or extra clothing.